They killed my cousin Larry Morris by himself on a Sunday. And Mom, I'm gonna take a walk. Told my mama nanny. My grandfather in World War II had to hold him in the street in Brooklyn. Watch his younger son. He wasn't scared to hold a dead body. He's been around him before my grandfather. I had to watch my father's little brother. He actually held his little son, Larry, hold on. He couldn't do it. So that's when they put in the bias and said, it's not going to happen to Jeffrey. My grandfather's wife, he did Mary Mack. He said, Richard P. Nixon, he made you a tough motherfucker. When I was 3 years old. He said, don't worry about it, Jeff. Only him. My mother and them wouldn't allow it. They said, enough of this bullshit. So that's the truth. So to cover up what they did with little Edwin, Puerto Rican, living next door to Thomas More, took the knife in the groin, stuck it in the groin specifically. He was a little short and twisted it. Killed it. He became a Latin king in prison. And what happened is, to make people forget about it, Mark Ford, nearest Lightfoot's brother, is a part of the trucking association, Black Trucking. Little dude too, like Edwin, little short dude, Mark Ford, who could walk on the block, who actually made the decision, I'm not selling drugs no more. He walked on the block, white man run him over with a car, actually tried to kill him. But Mark ran him over. And because somebody did a bad drug deal, allegedly, robbed the white man got mad at anybody he saw and hurt Mark Ford. Now Mark Ford is a victim, walking around, coming back limping. We Bob Thomas seen him one time, and he said, we need to ask him nothing. We saw him, he said, white man tried to kill me and I survived. I'll never get that shit there, Marco Ford. You know. I want to know how I got that job at Macy's. How do you get such a good job? Jeffrey, that's when I became recruited. I just graduated from the junior CIA. I want you to understand it. Trying to investigate the Hofstra people. And years later, my mother's best friend, Charlie Forrest, Butch, a.k.a. Butch, he becomes the director of Hofstra Public Safety. And I get to have a conversation with him. My father life told me everything. And he said, you threatened him. Oh, I figured that. But shit. Nothing I can do about it, I understand. Anyway, that happened with old girl Mark Ford, who, and that's to make people forget about Edwin, to get past it, everything. So Edwin, who's actually native now to America, plus Puerto Rico's American territories, they moved him to the Bronx, his family to the Bronx for their own protection. Now they're in Queen Village, and he's doing good. Never, but still, they keep going. So, we pretty much talking about Jamaicans as a whole. That the white man secretly said, we don't know how to deal with all African Americans. Their attitudes are fucked up. We don't know how to get rid of them motherfuckers. We don't, deep down inside, they don't like us. We don't like them. They keep talking about 400 years. And Jamaica said, we have a solution. You know how? They like our oxtails, our canaloo, especially our beef patties with cocoa bread and some nice champagne cola. And sometimes they buy our reefer, they buy our marijuana, and we're gonna take care of it for you. We're gonna teach them a lesson. See? And that's what they was reporting back to me. Reuben Phillips was not the same. When they found out that grown Jamaican who supervised that whole shit my brother Reuben Phillips went through, I was like, oh shit. I said, oh shit, Marvin, we was mad as hell. I said, what the fuck, since when Jamaicans doing that? And then Squire, Squire's little too. And Kendall sitting over here, go this way, Squire. He walking out, realizing, they stabbing me! They stabbing me! They stabbing me! I mean, he is trying to get away with it. Carl and Kendall Evans. Kendall wasn't always Jamaican, now all of a sudden he's Jamaican. And they was hoping that he died. But like Steele in the movie Juice with Tupac, good. It's not perfect, and that's the whole point. You know. And I believe, I'm not sure, I could be way off. Nassau County Police never recovered the knife. I believe they hid it in my house, which is why Damian Weeks is bringing in on the traffic and the arguments with him and Nika. Took this set of keys that Ashley Marin and them and Melissa Cook keep dropping. Not Ashley Marin. Why they keep dropping these heavy set of keys or cell phones? And they staged the argument. They said, we're going to go to Jeffrey's house. We're going to sit there and put Nika next to Jeffrey's favorite spot. Because every time I come out here, I have my favorite spot. right? Like I'm in the psych ward, where Jeffrey normally sits when we come by, because Jeffrey knows our practice, and they set it up, and then Damian Weeks took those heavy keys and slammed it in Onika's face to bring realism. She started crying out of her guilt, saying that she hates having to go through this shit to cover up with how they're killing the African Americans. But still, she has a job as a Jamaican woman, and then Damien didn't. When they felt that Jeffrey's still not going to be convinced, he takes Anika and slams her face for real. She goes along with the slam. She goes along with it though, and she could afford and let him slam. Then she starts saying, "He mashed me face," crying. "He mashed me face," to add realism that they were really having a fight. Kendall and his girlfriend, it was the stragglers, looking at me to make sure that the operation is going to be complete. That I'm still under the impression that that Kendall didn't do it. Then my dog Shock is mysteriously dead in the basement. And James and Damien was in on it. Because Damien came out and buttered me up to further solidify that, Jeffrey and using whatever, we're talking about who knows, Sophia, girls, and James. I think James come in the house, said, "You're coming with me to roll up field for 1 hour, we'll be back in 1 hour." And I just had my dog trained. The house is spotless at that time. Nobody had to tell me to clean my apartment. I had no girlfriend really. And when you come back, my dog had a potato chip, and they had a white woman from North Shore say to me, "That's kind of," after I gave her some information as to why I wanted a new dog, "Oh, that's common." They keep trying to talk me out of like a state justice department or a therapist. Nothing ever happened. It happens to people all the time. And I didn't want to walk around on medication, case study, and leave it alone. My cousin Larry said, "Damn." The one of Queens dudes, Farmer's Crew, said, "Damn, she went out like a soldier."